dadgum race cars on one freaking track at one time.
It sounds like it could end up in a lot of carnage too, though.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Speaking of that, let's go to the Revved Up Sports Show hotline. We happen to have somebody that I think may have been a part of that fantastic show happening at Pensacola in 2 classes, and we're very excited to have this individual on the hotline. Let's welcome in Cody Brusso. Cody, what's going down?
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're doing extremely well. So let's talk about that weekend. I mean, for you had the high and then you had the lows, man. That looked like good and then a little shitty at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. We actually weren't even planning on running the shit show of an outlaw race, and we actually convinced my dad 2 hours before the gates opened that we were going to take his car. Kurt and I did. So we loaded that bad boy up on a open equipment trailer, grabbed a can of fuel out of the shop, and hit her with a water hose and went to the racetrack.
I love it. That's awesome.
So how did it end up for you, Cody?
Sorry?
How did it end up for you? We know how those last minute racing trips never usually end up really good. What happened?
Well, it actually went pretty good. We were doing very well for what the car was. We've been having trouble with that car this year. I've tried to race it 2 other times. We had a miss. We found the miss, went to the racetrack. We were actually pretty quick. We qualified 8th out of 24. I think I went a 5 to Connor O'Krezik's 2, which was on a pole, which that's fine for us. I mean, we haven't got to race at 5 Flags all year. Mm-hmm. So I was completely happy with that. And come race time, we're riding around. I get up to 5th. There was carnage in front of me most of the race, cautions, people chasing each other around the racetrack, people fighting on the front straightaway. Then we had a really long red flag. Came back to restart. Kid in front of me doesn't go. Guy behind me tags me. I don't know if he tagged me or not. All I know is I came off the nose of the 51 at Mock Jesus towards the wall. We smacked the inside wall, and that ended our night in the 7 car.
Jeez. So what is it, Cody?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Cody, I mean, the whole thing is, I mean, I watch these races all around the country, and I see them, I see some firsthand myself, and it's like the lack of respect. I'm like, guys, ladies, come on, man. It's, yes, I know this costs a lot of money, but at the same time, this costs a lot of money, for crying out loud. Shit. Let's drive ourselves a little smarter here.
Well, you're exactly right. And it's becoming, the class was started or was basically written up a few years ago by my dad, and presented to Timmy and Ricky and all that. They finally took the bait on the rules. It was made because around here in Pensacola, there's probably, or at the time, there was 15 to 20 pro late model or late model, super late model cars that people that worked from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, couldn't afford to go race the Pro Series or the Super Series or whatever. So we were like, hey, we'll do this class. You can build your own bodies. You don't have to buy all this fiberglass bullshit from 5 Star and pay somebody to hang your body. You can make your own shit. Take the old stuff, go race it. And we have a class, and we turn out, 24 cars. And that's what happened the original year here. It's the rules spread to Mobile, to Cordele, to Montgomery. And it really took off. It was great. Then you have, what happens to everything. You have the bigger money stuff come into play. Mm-hmm. You have people that have no respect for other people's equipment. You have people with 28 cars at their shop that they don't care. They'll wreck their shit and daddy will roll out another one. Right. They don't care.
Right.
They don't care about you. They don't care about what they got going on because there's no consequences. So, the thing with the Outlaw class, it's a great class. It's getting out of hand. The rules are getting out of hand. They're going to have to do something to get a hold of it, in our opinion, just from what we've seen. What we do on a budget in, the Kurt Britt trucks or the Kurt Britt Outlaw or the Donnie Brusso Outlaw, what we do and what we have accomplished on the budget, in a budget, like you would shit if you knew the budget of what we're accomplishing. Yeah. Like our budget is like our real budget. Like we do a lot on very little. where now it's becoming to where these people have endless amounts of cash and they're running super late model races, and then you're going to come jump back into Outlaw. Like, no.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, that's kind of goofy. So if I want to compete against Connor O'Kresick and Bubba Pollard and Steven Nassie, hell yeah, I want to outrun them. Like, I'm with the shit, but I want to do it in the same type of equipment. You know, the Wheelman Series down south, for example, Bubba went down there and raced, but he was in the same shit. He wasn't in an $80,000 Rowdy car to my 1998 Hampke, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it's turned into. A lot of those guys that we race with, they work Monday through Friday, and they work their ass off to buy one set of tires. Then you have people, you know, it's supposed to be a tire shortage. You have people testing all week. And I know for a fact because I live 2 miles from the racetrack. So tell me I can't hear it, okay?
Right.
So you have people testing all week long and still can't lay a lap down and still cause bullshit on the racetrack. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, stupid.
Just my opinion. But the majority of the guys we race with, they're great. I'll give room. They give room. Everybody's happy.
Right.
Like John Heil, for instance. Me and him went round and round last year. Okay, we kind of got into each other at the Derby. He raced me as clean as he could in that truck and as clean as I could, and it was great. We put on a show. He passed me with 3 to go. I passed him back. We never touched. Raced side by side for an entire lap.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Outlaw stuff, it's becoming where they don't care. They'll tear your shit up because there's just unlimited amounts of funds to be, you know, they just don't care. They just run through it.
Yeah, that ain't right.
Yeah, it's not. But it is what it is. That's the name of the game. And we still show up to every race with what we have, and we still perform, and we are still competitive, and we're a threat every time we pull up to the racetrack. So I really can't complain.
That's right.
It's just shitty that, you know, we're moving up, and I get junked on a restart. That's stupid to me.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. Yeah. Especially if you're supposed to have that much experience behind the wheel, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, well. But the truck race went great. And I can't thank Kurt. I can't thank him enough for letting me drive that truck. I can't thank my dad enough for letting us kind of yeehaw his Outlaw for that Friday race. Because he went to lunch, and I looked at Kurt, and he looked at me, and we were like, load it. Okay, let's go.
I love it.
So we robbed that right out of the shop. But he was a good sport about it. And, you know, we know what we need to work on, and we're going to go to Cordeal, and we're going to finish off the season strong and get ready for the snowball.
Right on.
But like I said, the truck thing, I mean, it went great. I didn't know I was doing that till Friday morning, so that was kind of cool. Didn't really get to practice. Almost bought the truck coming out of 4 in qualifying because I wasn't expecting it to hook that hard, but that thing is a freaking monster of a truck. I think we were talking about it, and I think everybody that has raced that truck has won a feature in it.
Yeah.
Up to this point. My girlfriend won in it in Montgomery. I've won in it. Cody Haskins, Josh Hicks, Grant Thompson, Jake Bowman, I think his name is, from California, came and raced it at Cordeal. He did great, and the only person that has yet to win in it is his own owner, Kurt Britt. So we are waiting for him to man up, to man up and quit being a little punk and get behind the wheel to see what he created.
Get his ass in that truck. Come on, what the hell? I mean, man, Kurt.
I'm trying. He's a little punk bitch. I don't know.
Come on, my man.
I know. I love him to death. I'm trying to get him in it. So, you know, our whole team is one in it except old Kurt. So we've been working on it pretty hard, trying to get him ready, get him pumped up to get a win in it also.
Love it.
So Cody, let's talk about you and how you progressed. Obviously, we know that you've been running the Outlaw and you're having some good success with the truck now, but let's talk about how everything got started for you. I know your dad was racing before, so how did this whole thing shape up for you? How did you get involved in this as deep as you are right now?
Oh, God. Bad luck, I guess.
Hell yeah. That's about right,
man. Yeah. So, no, I raced go-karts when I was little. I started when I was 3 till about the time I was probably 10. We raced go-karts full-time. I kind of didn't really shy away from it. I mean, Dad was still racing and all, so I went and I rode horses and played ball. I played ball through college. got out of college, got back here. Dad was like, all right, we're going late model racing. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. Like, this sounds like a great idea.
Shit,
Like, I've never raced a big car, but we actually went to Monroe, Louisiana, which was Revolution Park. They put dirt on it a few years ago now, but it was a concrete track at the time.
Yep.
And we went up there, and the first year we won the NASCAR state championship in that, in a pro late model. We came home. I took about a year off and went to work and had to do adult things. And then the Outlaw Class, Outlaw Class took off.
Yeah,
I know, it sucks. The Outlaw Class took off, and that's kind of what we've been dabbling in. I won the championship in that. Then Britt came along. My dad had double knee surgery, like 2 total knee replacements. So he was going to take a year off. I didn't have anything to drive. Kurt actually shot me a message he needed me to test for Josh because Josh was in school. So I tested for him, ended up in a truck full season for him. Did really well in that. The end of that year, we jumped back in Dad's car. And then we ended up with the 38 Outlaw car and did that last year, won a bunch of races with him and that team. Watching that organization grow has been awesome on my side. So I'm glad I get to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, Kurt checks in. He's racing October 16th at Cordial, he says. How about that?
Yeah, okay. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, I'll let you know when the 16th comes around. I'm spotting. That's all I know. If he's not clear by 5, he's a fired ass.
So I was following there on Facebook. So were you like banned from him or something? I would see it as like Cody Brusso was banned or something.
No.
What the hell was that all about?
Oh God. Okay, so back to the Outlaw Class and kids with no respect for anybody. All right, so this is the deal, and Kurt's I'm probably gonna go on super secret restriction again, but
nice.
It'll be fine.
Nice.
Yep. So basically, I got to the point in my life where, like, look, NASCAR was never a goal for me. We don't have enough money to run pro late models just because I work, my dad works, my mom works, everybody works, okay? Like, It's just reality. You just got to accept, the cards that you've been dealt, and you got to deal with it. So what we're doing is what we're doing, and I got tired of people running over my shit. Well, so, seriously, like, it sucks, but, a lot of girls or women in racing, they just take so much shit off of everybody, and I just don't. Like, I don't care what people don't. Like, if you don't like me, that's cool. You don't pay my bills. Like, I pay my mortgage today. I'm good. Like, I'm good for another month. Like, I don't give a shit. So, basically what happened was at the beginning of the year, we had some stuff kind of not really fall through, but I didn't really get to run a full schedule this year. We'll just put it that way.
Right.
And we had somebody else that was going to race the 38 car, and that was great. And it happened. Well, then another car came along, and it was, in the nicest way to put it, the kid that was getting to race the other car, not the 38, the other car was being paid for by a rich guy with endless funds.
Nice.
And then you have a kid with no consequences. Okay?
Yep.
So we were at Cordial. I got to race my 38 car. I was super pumped. I was like, this is going to be dope. We're going straight to the front. Like, we're about to wrap this shit up. Like, this is us. Like, we got this. So my dumb ass goes out there and spins out in qualifying.
Oh,
so
man.
I blamed it on Kurt immediately. Like, it wasn't my fault. It was immediately Kurt's fault, right? So, we had a part of the family, I think. I know. There was 20 cars there. So, 20 cars, whatever. It's like 50 lap race at Cordial. So I drive from P last to P3.
Sweet.
Clean. Don't touch anybody. Didn't touch anybody. Rolling them on the top side, rolling them on the bottom side. We go up through there, not a mark on my car. We're great. So we have a red flag. I don't know, somebody got yeeted, whatever. And I guess kid shorted out. I don't really know. But at this point, going into this race, he had already ran over one of our team cars. Now remember, this kid is racing out of the same pit box as I'm racing out of, as these two other cars are racing out of.
Yeah.
So one of our cars had already been wrecked by this kid. Okay. So this race comes around. Hunter Johnson was behind me in another car. that was in our pit that weekend, and he gets freaking annihilated on the front straightaway by this kid. Door slam. Like, if Hunter wouldn't have been as good as he is, he would have crashed on the front straightaway.
Yeah.
The kid doors him going into one, and I don't know if you're familiar about Cordial, but you never dive bomb anybody going into Cordial.
That's right.
Because the car won't stay down there. So, unless you really have a good run or whatever.
Yeah.
So he gets Hunter going into one down the front straightaway. Then he thinks he's going to get me. He runs down into 3, and door slams the shit out of me, like completely, like bout wipes me out. And I'm like shorting out at this point because I haven't got to race all year. And I'm like, all right, I'm tired of this shit. Like, he done got Hunter. Now he done got me. Like, okay, I'm done. So, and there were some other things adding up to this.
Yeah.
But the checkered came out. I couldn't catch him. I ended up running 5th because I got door slammed and lost like 2 spots. After the checkered, I caught his ass on the back straightaway. And the car just, it wouldn't stop. And it took a hard right.
Hell yeah.
So I got put on super secret Kurt Britt restriction for 1 race. So then Brooke got to race my car. But I'm off restriction now, so that's all that matters. I'm just tired of taking people's shit. Like, I will not, you can ask anybody that I race with, don't fuck with Cody, she ain't gonna take your stuff. Like, I'm not gonna take it off anybody. Like,
it's the way it should be. I don't care. It's the way it should be. That's the whole thing. The respect thing is the problem. We see it. I don't give a shit if it's in the bomber class or whatever. Nobody respects anybody anymore.
No, not at all. And like I said, the group, there's a few guys that I can race with side by side, and it is great. I can race with Bubba Winslow. I can race with Corbett Mosley. I can race apparently with John Howell now, which is really cool because he's actually kind of fun to race with. John Howell. I can race with JJ Day. I can race with Stuart Dutton really well. And these are all fast guys that are up front. So I'm used to racing with these guys that do have respect, that are up front, that have been up front, that are used to being up front. Mm-hmm. And then, like this past weekend, like if you end up back there with the clowns, you're going to see a circus, and that's what we saw.
That's totally right. That's totally right. Yeah.
Yeah. But, and it's not, they call it a support class. It's a great class to start out in. There's a few of these kids that we're going to see come in and out of here that are going to end up because they have the checkbook to go to ARCA or Xfinity or whatever, but it's the same scenario in every class. If you go truck racing, if you go in the Outlaw or the Pro Late Models or the Supers, you'll see, and everybody has seen it, and it's always the same deal, and it doesn't matter. It's always money, money, money. It doesn't matter. I got another car. I got 6 more. I got this. I got that. But, it really falls back to the racetracks not getting a handle on the rules or what they have going on. Because, let's be honest here. Like, the cars that have been winning, they're not $80,000 race cars. These are people that work from daylight to dark, and then they go home and they work on their race car, or they feed their family or whatever, and then they make enough, not like we're all broke as hell, but I'm just saying, like, okay, what I mean? Like, if I have $80,000 extra dollars, I'm not buying an $80,000 race car. You bet your ass I'm about to go get a $70,000 boat. Like, I'm not spending it on a race car. Like, what? So that's just kind of the thing, and it does suck, but that's everywhere, and that's what's so cool about all the things that y'all have going on with Mobile is because that Pro Late Model deal that y'all have going over there, that's good. That class right there is perfect for what that racetrack needs and what people can't, the people that can't afford to go and to run these big 100-lap races. They're not learning anything at these 100-lap races, getting their ass handed to them by the campy car. Like, come on, what?
Right, yeah.
They're going a lap down, 10 laps into it. You're not learning anything. Mm-hmm. So it's perfect. And I think that even not taking a knock at the people from Texas that come to Mobile, but I think that they've learned that the caliber of car that used to be an outlaw car is no longer. That when they bring their stuff over here, oh god, the dog's mad.
Oh, we got him. We got him here too. Don't worry.
Yeah, when they bring their stuff over here, they're like, oh my god, we got to go home and work on our stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, this is a little outrageous. Yeah. And it is like the 38 car, that thing is fast. I probably could have sat on the pole last year at the Derby, but I ended up going second because I kind of got a little nervous. You know, I'm not about to wreck it in qualifying. But, you know, that car is really fast. We've won races with it. People have said it's fast. Dad's car is super fast. But we don't have $80,000 tied into those race cars.
For sure. Yeah.
And it's supposed to be a local support class, and that's not local stuff. So you have, like, going back to the Wheelman stuff, we have a Wheelman car.
Yeah.
And it's got, like, these Bobo-ass shocks on it that look like they came off a frickin', like, I don't know, like a John Deere, like, buggy thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. What is this? Yeah. And they have stock, you know, it's all stock stuff for the most part. And then you have some of these Outlaw cars that have shocks on them that are worse than one of my cars that are sitting in my dad's shop right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what? You have $10,000 worth of shocks on your Outlaw car to win $700? Mm-hmm. Like, what?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's just what it's turned into, and it's fine. But, I mean, you know, it's all about what you want to do and how far you want to do it. And, I mean, we're still doing it, so I can't complain too much. But, I mean, what's going to happen is it's going to kill itself. Mm-hmm. And since Ricky Brooks took over that Wheelman stuff down south, I think that, this is just my personal opinion, I think that you're going to see those cars move up here. You're going to see a lot of people that are on my kind of budget move down, and you're going to see a lot more 602 cars here. And I think that eventually that they're going to pick up at Mobile, and then Cordille's going to pick them up, and that's going to be the new Outlaw Class. Mm-hmm. Because the stuff that they're doing right now with the rule package and how it's getting out of hand and the people running over everybody, it's going to phase itself out. Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Hope so. I
mean, you hope so? You hope the Outlaw cars get phased out?
No. I hope that this thing will kind of shake itself out to where this does get back to, like we're talking about with the Mobile thing. I mean, like the Pro Late models. I mean, it's a great concept.
Yes, it is. And, I mean, the tire that they're on works out great. You know, It's not going to draw in people that need to get wins on their little resume because their kid can't drive without traction control or whatever. You know, like what? So it works out. And you know I'm not even lying about that. So you might
I know.
I know.
I know.
You can tell when they turn it on and they turn it off. So, you know, that's just the biggest thing, really, is just the cost. It's gotten really out of hand. The test days, like I guarantee you right now that if I had a week worth of testing at Five Flags, where I could test from 10 o'clock in the morning to about they go to about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I had unlimited money and unlimited tires, nobody would be able to touch me.
Right.
And then, you know, or any of our CBM people for sure. I mean, I have a kid right now sitting in Georgia working on a freaking legend car that I could take some of these kids that they're riding around in these $100,000 supers. I can take him right now. He can probably get in it in jeans and some tennis shoes and lay a way better lap down than any of them can.
It's crazy.
And it's just that's just what racing has turned into. It sucks, but it is what it is. So you either want to do it or you don't.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So Cody, do you have
that's why we like to go to Mobile.
Do you have a preference on what you like? Despite all the clusterness in the Outlaw class, do you prefer the Outlaw over the truck, or does it just vary by the day, or do you like them both? Do you have a preference, one or the other?
You know, it really just depends. I enjoy the truck. I think the truck puts it back in the driver's hands just because of the way the chassis works, and they're just fun. Like, it's just hammered down all the time. It's fun to race because the bumpers line up. So if you do want to push on somebody, you can. Whereas if you get behind somebody in Outlaw, you're picking their back tires up off the ground.
Yeah.
And it usually ends really bad, obviously, that we've seen that. But, you know, I like, the faster I'm going, the more fun I'm having. I like the trucks. I really like the Outlaws. I've been fortunate enough to ride in some really, really nice shit. So I really, you know, I can't really choose between two of them because I've been very, very fortunate. Like, I mean, I raced Kurt's trucks before I got to ride this 38 truck, and it was great. My dad's two cars they're great. They hook, they're fast. I've never really had to ride in anything, that was like super sketch. I had a super sketch race car that I rode in at op, but we got it where it wasn't as sketchy, and it was fast. It ended up fast, but there's really, it's hard to choose. It just depends on what kind of racing you want to do. And I like both. I mean, I just like good, hard racing side by side next to each other. We're not trying to kill each other. Nobody's getting concrete in their teeth. Like, that's what I like. And I don't know, it just depends.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. So I have to ask you before we cut you loose. So one of the things that I've been talking about on this show for the last few weeks, I mean, with this quote tire shortage thing that you addressed, I'm like, man, how is this going to affect? I mean, we see shows getting canceled, and they can't run all these big races, whatever. Is that going to be an effect for the snowball, or is this mysteriously going to go away?
I think that it will be. I think it will be a problem for some people. I think that other people are going to have tire availability that they show up with.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people are going to get test days that nobody knows about. I think people are going to get sets of tires out the back door that nobody knows about. And it sucks. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I mean, I just know they're hollering tire shortage, and we've got people out here testing every day. You can hear, like, I can throw a baseball and hit the racetrack from my room right now. Like, for the local classes, I think that they're going to limit us to a set of tires. You get your race tires, and that's it. Now, like I said, it'll be who you are as to what you get.
Yeah.
The super stuff, they need to limit them to however many sets you get for the big race. Like, you just get your race tires. That's what they need to do, because, I mean, really, the Derby doesn't have to be a 4-day show. It's a 4-day show because they make dollars on tires.
That's right. You get the bell again.
I'm serious.
Man, you get the bell the whole damn. I'm gonna mail you the bell.
I know.
Shit.
You should mail me the bell. Exactly.
I think I might.
So,
I think I just might.
The pros and the supers, they practice so much throughout that week. The local cars, we get 15 minutes, and they're like, good luck. And if somebody crashes and there's oil all over the racetrack, they're like, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, see you at race time.
Yeah, good job. Yeehaw. But they, a normal team, I don't really know. For a pro car, I bet you people go through 10 sets of tires easy.
It's crazy. That's way too much.
Like, for a normal, like not like super low budget. I know that for us last year to run Josh on the budget that we had, I think we went 6 sets.
Wow.
And that was Thursday, Friday, and then our race tires on Saturday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's like, we're like out here in like a old Gart car.
Mm-hmm.
But we were strolling. Like, my boy was strolling. Like, Jimmy Garmin had that thing hooked up. Kurt had it all polished nice. And
cutting the wind.
Josh, yeah, there you go. And then Josh had it hooked up. I mean, he was. I think he was first in practice on both days, and then we ended up qualifying 5th. So you really can't complain. That's what I'm saying. What we do on the budget that we do it on is ridiculous compared to everybody else's budget. Like, we had that budget. Okay, let's play. Yep. We're all riding around in some Gart cars, like some old ones. Like, you know what I mean? So this year, and that's another thing going into Outlaw stuff, this year you're going to see, I guarantee you're going to see some Furies and some Senecers. I know a few Outlaws already have Senecer front and rear updates on them, like clip, center pull, this, that, and other. I think that I know that there's already a Rowdy car riding around. And you're going to see some shit. Like, even though there's a tire shortage, you're going to see some stuff in that Outlaw class. So you're going to see some stuff. But what it is, that truck thing, that's pretty, you can't get far-fetched in that. It kind of is what it is. Like, they have that shock rule, they have this, and you can only get so much nice shit to put on a truck.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Wheelman stuff, like it's capped off.
That's right.
The Outlaw stuff,